Austin Aries, a man who in the early 2010s to the mid 2010s was at the top of his game, killing it in TNA and killing it on the indies, but when he was signed to WWE, it felt right. He'd been killing it outside of the WWE for years, and it was time for him to kill it inside the WWE. But it all went wrong, and his career has been downhill ever since. Here's how. What's going on, guys? It's Tom of Thompson Wrestling, and today we'll be talking about the rise and fall of Austin Aries. Before we get into it though, I'd like to thank my Patreon backers, all listed here. For more exclusive content and perks, check out my Patreon link down below. It would really help me during these trying times and would be very much appreciated. Also, at the end of this video, I'll give you guys an update on why I haven't uploaded in 2 weeks, an update on my health regarding my coronavirus infection. If you guys didn't know, I have coronavirus. I'll update you at the end though, because stuff's changed. And yeah, let's just get into this video and stop wasting time.
What's up, guys? This is WWE superstar Austin Aries, and you are watching Top 10 Wrestling.
Austin Aries began training in 2000, debuting in November of 2000, and he would begin wrestling in the Midwest for the next couple of years before moving over and wrestling on the East Coast, where his career would get kick-started. In 2004, Aries would make his debut for Ring of Honor on April 24th, and his career would take off quickly, as later that year in December, he won the Ring of Honor World title, defeating Samoa Joe, who was the longest reigning champion. He would hold the title for 6 months before losing it to CM Punk, and Austin Aries would make his debut for TNA at Sacrifice 2005. He was an option in the poll to challenge X Division champion Christopher Daniels, with the whole narrative being that it's 3 stars from the indies on the poll, and he won the poll because he was that biggest star on the indies. And while he did lose the match to Daniels, he impressed TNA officials so much that he was signed to a TNA contract, and he would become a regular member of the TNA roster in September, and was now wrestling for the top 2 companies outside of WWE in North America. He formed a stable with Roderick Strong and Alex Shelley, both of which he had a stable with in Ring of Honor, and he would find more title success in Ring of Honor, winning the tag titles with Roddy in December 2005. It wasn't all sunshine and rainbows for Aries though, as in February 2006, his attitude problems would begin to show. In February 2006, he and Strong were both suspended from TNA for turning up 4 hours late to the Against All Odds pay-per-view. TNA requested they travel to the show early due to a snowstorm, but they both decided to stay in Long Island for a Ring of Honor show. And after this, Aries would go through a repackaging. He was being hyped up as Austin Starr, a very unfortunate last name. He re-debuted at Bound for Glory and won an X Division Battle Royal, and he would start appearing in Kevin Nash's Paparazzi production series. He made it to the final of the tournament, where he would lose to Alex Shelley at Final Resolution 2007, and from April to June 2007, a fair bit would happen for Aries. On April 18, 2007, Starr was suspended from TNA after not wanting to film vignettes on what he believed to be his day off, and though he did film them in the end, TNA saw it as bad attitude. Then, on May 4, 2007, Ring of Honor announced a pay-per-view deal which led to TNA pulling many of their talent off Ring of Honor shows, including Aries. However, during Aries' TNA suspension, he requested and was granted his release from TNA and then returned to Ring of Honor on June 22, 2007. Bloody hell. Austin Aries would spend the next 3 years in Ring of Honor really making a name for himself. He spent the next 3 years in Ring of Honor wrestling with and against the Briscoes, Bryan Danielson, Tyler Black, Eddie Kingston, Nigel McGuinness, Brody Lee, and more. On June 13, 2009, at Manhattan Mayhem III, Austin Aries competed in a 3-way dance against Tyler Black and Ring of Honor champion Jerry Lynn for the title, where he won and became the first person to hold the Ring of Honor World title more than once. He was a star. Aries really made waves in his 3 years in Ring of Honor, winning the title, having great matches, and becoming a big name on the American indie scene. So much so that TNA wanted him back. After leaving Ring of Honor in 2009, Aries was back in TNA in 2011, and after 3 months of being in the company, Aries would win the X Division title at Bound for Glory 2011. Aries would defend the title against the likes of Alex Shelley, Brian Kendrick, Chris Sabin, and Samoa Joe, and would become the longest reigning X Division champion of all time. And then, in July of 2012, Aries would do the unimaginable and would establish the Option C rule, a very important moment in TNA history. The Option C rule is a rule where the X Division champion can vacate the title in return for a world title shot. At Destination X 2012, Aries would vacate the title and defeat Bobby Roode to win the world title. This was huge and really showed how far Aries had come since his last run in TNA. Aries would lose the title to Jeff Hardy at that year's Bound for Glory, but he was a certified main eventer at that point for TNA. In January of 2013 in the UK, Aries and Roode would form a new team called the Dirty Heels and win the tag titles. It was a makeshift team, but it worked, and it just goes to show how versatile Aries was. He was an X Division champion, a world champion, and a tag champion. He could wrestle in any division. Aries would stay around in TNA until 2015, where he would win the X Division title a couple more times and stay around the main event scene. Aries would leave TNA for the second time in 2015, and after years of busting his ass, he would finally join the WWE in 2016. And, yeah, what a disaster his time in the WWE was. Shall we talk about it? Let's kind of skim through it. He signed for the WWE on January 22nd, 2016, joining NXT. He beat Corbin at his TakeOver debut in Dallas, then he lost to Nakamura at the next TakeOver at the end, turned heel, defeated No Way Jose at the next TakeOver in Brooklyn, then got injured in October and was out for a while. He would then start commentating for 205 Live, and then on a Monday Night Raw in March 2017, he turned face again by attacking Cruiserweight Champion Neville. He officially returned to the ring and would face Neville for the title at Mania 33, a match I was there for and a match I thought was very underrated, but he lost and couldn't get the Cruiserweight title. He faced Neville again at Payback and won by DQ. Then he faced him again at Extreme Rules and lost, and then he was released because of his attitude problems. Oh no. And I kid you not, by the way, I might have skimmed through it, but that really was his entire run in the company. That's pretty much it. In early 2018, Austin Aries would make his second return to Impact and would very quickly win both the World title and the Grand Championship. He was back. He's back in his home. He would lose the title to Pentagon, but then win it back a month later, making him a 3-time world champion within the company. Like I said, Aries was home. TNA, Impact, it truly was Aries' home, and it was where he thrived the most. He left WWE, goes back to Impact, and immediately is put in the main event. However, once again, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows, and I think you know where I'm going with this. Aries would defend the title against the likes of Moose, Eddie Edwards, and more, but he was yet to face his biggest challenge, Johnny Impact. And again, I think you know where I'm going with this. These two feuded for the world title in a feud that really blurred the lines. You had them tweeting at each other, with Aries making fun of Impact's wife, Taya Valkyrie, her appearance. Impact made fun of Aries' height, which seemed to really strike a nerve with him. And then the match itself saw Morrison or Impact hit the Starship Pain, win the title, win the match, get the 3, and then Aries immediately get up and no-sell it in a move that many people thought was a shoot, but apparently Aries said it was all part of a plan, but then he was out the company like right after this match. Yeah, really complicated ordeal that I've made an entire video on, so if you want to see it in more detail, check that video out. It's called the Austin Aries Incident. You'll find it if you just search it. And yeah, since then, Aries has been on the independent scene. He made a couple of appearances for MLW, but he's not really recovered his career since, and he has very much fell, and I think that's in big part due to his backstage attitude, and also with his recent takes on COVID and the forest fires, probably that too. You know, sorry Aries, actually I'm kidding, I'm not sorry at all. And yeah, that's it. That is basically the career of Austin Aries within Ring of Honor, TNA, WWE and Impact. Like I said at the start of the video, let me talk to you guys about my health. Last Thursday, I tested positive for COVID-19. Yes, indeed. I started feeling symptoms on the Sunday before that, where I felt quite sick, but I felt a lot better by Wednesday. On Thursday, I tested positive, and yeah, I'm way better. That's basically what I'm saying here. I don't have COVID anymore. My self-isolation period has ended. I have to self-isolate for 2 further days because of my flatmates tested positive and they started getting symptoms later than me. It's chill. I just have to self-isolate 2 days longer. But I myself, I've recovered. Fairly certain there's no COVID within my system anymore. All that means is that videos are back, so look forward to some awesome videos. See you all soon, guys. Like the video if you enjoyed. Check out my Patreon, check out my podcast. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. See you all soon. Goodbye, and keep on
all my life, I had dreams that I would shine. Nothing less than diamonds shining every night. Body till the sun come up, I see the light. Yeah, in Dubai. Smoke gelato if they ask, we telling lies.